Who says that container trees don't produce? So far, I've had my Barbados cherries produce over and over again. Unfortunately, I got a bird population out here that eats them as soon as they grow, but they're here. They're here. This is not necessarily a pot. This is a washing tub from one of the big box stores. It cost me, I think, $8-9 versus buying a regular potting planter. See that? They are about the same size. I believe the washing bucket is bigger than the biggest planter that they sell. So go ahead and look that up. They usually don't have those out in the open. You have to order them online and go pick them up. So that's one down, right? Look at all those flowers. They're doing excellent in these containers. Excellent container planting, trees that cannot take winter, and these are tropical. They have to come in the house. I bought them in the house last year, and they're thriving. Look at that. Look at all those flowers. Look at all those blooms. On to the next. So here are my lemon and lime trees. I also brought these 3 into the house last year. I've had them for this is the third year. And look at how they're growing. They're doing excellent. And I didn't think I was going to get any fruit this year because this is, because they're in a container, I just thought that maybe, it might stifle their growth. But look at this one. Look at this one. Look at the blooms forming. There it is. And guess what this is down here? That's a lemon. So here's the tag. This is how much they used to be. Let me try to get the camera on there. I need to take this off anyway. How about that? They used to be $39 and now they're running about $50. But they're worth it. They are worth it. I kept this one in a window. It was on a stool in a window in this pot. So I think this is a 7-gallon potter. And it has blooms all over. Let me see if I get you one. Show you one. I'm trying to get my camera on it. Put my hand on so I can show you. Look at that. That's a bloom right there. Right there. Uh-oh. Still there. I thought I heard it. I'm trying to take the thing off while I'm talking. Okay, let me get this tag off because this will strangle the plant after a while. Let me get it off. See? Oh, it's a lemon tree. Yeah. Doing just fine and it's producing. So this is just a tree update of the container plants. Other trees are also doing well. This is a pecan tree right here. Still doing okay. There's a few dead leaves, and you can see from the ground that I hand water it. I come out here with 5-gallon buckets and pour water on them. If you look around, see the fishes? They're all over the place. But it's okay. Here's the peach tree. Just planted them in spring. This one was planted in spring, and that one right there with the sleeve on it was planted last spring. My lime trees are still holding on. I keep on coming out here and watering it. I had a Texas lilac that was in a container. This is not a fruit tree, but I think I'll mention it because Texas lilacs, if you dig them up and they look dead, don't throw them out. Put them back in the ground because a Texas lilac is a tough plant. It was all brown. All of it looked like this. And now look, it's coming back. Let's go on to the next one. Winter damaged a lot of this stuff. Chico, come on. Philomena. My dogs are out here with me. Here's my peach tree. This one, when I bought it, it had a peach on it, and that was the best peach I've ever tasted. I'm so happy I bought that. I'm gonna leave the sleeve on there, maybe over winter. It's not that, it's still loose on there, so it's okay. And here goes my other lime trees, and this is the one lime tree that survived in still has limes on it. It has limes on it on the very top. On to the next. This is my other pecan tree. So I have 3 pecan trees. One here, one there, and one there. They're far enough away from everybody's house because they get huge. Huge. Moving on to the next. This is a peach tree that I got as a bare root tree about 2 years ago. I thought it passed away, but it came back from the bottom, just like that one did. That one I thought was dead, and look how big this is planted about 10, 12 years ago. Keep on backing up, but it's so big. Let me stop and come back. So I'm almost in the back of the yard. This thing is huge. That peach tree is a dwarf peach tree. It died and it came back as a peach bush, and it produces every year. Every year. If the birds don't get it, I usually get some, but this year I think the birds got me. This is the Ayers pear. I got this as a bare root at the beginning of spring. Keep on backing up, but this thing is huge. Just a moment. So there it is. That's about 12 feet tall. And it was a bare root. Buy your bare root trees. Don't be afraid. If you see a little, just scratch the bark. If there's green underneath the initial layer, it's alive. It's alive. I'm so glad I bought them because it was like $15 for a bare root tree at Tractor Supply this spring. This is one of the several lime trees that froze and came back. Look at that. It's 8 feet high. And I don't water it often. Citrus trees, you don't really have to, you just put them in the ground. They can take drought, but they cannot take a frost. Let me show you all the dead ends. They're still on there. You know, I should have took them off, but see that? It looks like those sticks. See those sticks? That's what it was. And it came back from the bottom. Shoots came from the bottom, and now they're 8 feet tall. All right, going around the humongous peach tree that I keep pruning. Birds just love it. Look at this. Let me see if I can get her. She just keep making nests in there. She's looking at me, but I don't know if I can get her. Can you see her? Here's another dove, white-tailed dove, making another nest. So I have a couple more to talk about. This is my loquat from last year. I overwintered it outside. I just put some plants on the bottom of the planter and wrapped it up as much as I could with some blankets when it was freezing. And this one survived. Now I bought 2 of these last year. The other one was planted where the lemon trees are, and it died. And it tried to come back, but then we had another freeze earlier this year, and that just did it. It just died. This one, the only reason why this one is turning brown is because of the sun. It was doing better before summer came. And these leaves, I'm gonna have to chop these off because these are burnt leaves. It's not because I didn't water, it's because the sun is so intense. It's burning the leaves. Look at that, up there too. And there's no shade. And you know, it's been in this spot for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years. It'll be fine. Summer's almost over, thank goodness, and it'll gain back because at the beginning of spring, all of the leaves were dark green like this, and it'll come back to its original beauty. I'm just gonna have to put some horticulture molasses in it because that's what I use when they start looking raggedy. I just start putting horticulture molasses with some water in there, and that sugar does it most of the time. I don't know what it does, but sugar, the plants like the sugar, and then it just produces better leaves. I might also put some 10-10-10 in there to bring it back, to give it some nutrients, because the soil has depleted. It's been 2 years, right? This is a pear tree. I bought this as a bare roots tree at the beginning of spring, and I was afraid to put it in the ground because, you know, I heard that if you put bare roots tree in the ground, directly in the ground, they die. So I almost never put bare roots trees. I always start them off in planters. So this one is not going to stay in here. It has been in here since, I believe, March. March or April. I planted it in this little planter, and that's where it's been. And it's doing quite well. It's starting to put off some spurs too, but I was worried because it was just one stick. But look at this. I got some branches forming. Finally, look at that. That's another branch right there. The more I look at it, the happier I get, because I was worried. You know, when you get a bare roots tree, they do it from, you know, making cuttings. It's from a cutting basically. They air layer it, and you only get that one branch, and it was a stick with one leaf on it. Now look at it. It's thriving. It's going towards the sun. Apparently, pear trees like summer, or it likes heat, or it likes, you know, sun, direct sun. So all three of my pear trees are doing well. I bought this one before I bought the other two, but as I said, the other two were already in pots. This one was just a bare roots, or just a stick and a couple of roots from Tractor Supply. And I am so proud of this bad boy. I love this thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think I know where I'm gonna put it. I see a spot. I had some peach trees, excuse me, not peach trees. I take that back. I love my peach trees. I take that back. That's the devil talking. I had some lemon and lime trees that passed away that I cut down. So I'm gonna put this back there, I think. I might change my mind. But it's doing well. It's doing extremely well. And I think I spent maybe $15 on it, which is why I bought it. I'm so happy with this thing, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of it. It's so pretty. It looks like a stick, but it's my little stick that I planted bare roots in this pot. See that? This pot is small too, so it has to come out of here before winter. I'm just waiting for the rainy season, which should start next month. Then this one is going on the ground. The loquat never going in the ground. If it goes anywhere, it's gonna go in the house. I'm just gonna do what I did last year. It's not much bigger than it was last year. This branch right here, that's a new one. That is a new branch. Where is it coming from? Does it come from the ground? No, it comes from down here. So that's never gonna go in the ground. I don't trust it. I see some of my neighbors with the loquats in front of their houses. I don't know how they got it to grow like that, but I don't want my last loquat to pass away. I want to go and get another one, but I'm just gonna wait for a while. Maybe next year I'll get one. I've planted at least, let me see, I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one, the pear tree, will be my 5th one. And since this one did so well in the pot, I'll continue to fertilize it and keep it right here where I can watch it like a hawk. Okay, one more tree we need to go over, and 2 more. Oh man, I forgot about these. They're right in front of my face. How could you, Jamerica? How could you? This is my mulberry. I had a mulberry when I was a little girl. My grandma's house we had a big mulberry tree in the backyard, and every summer or spring, that thing would produce so much fruit that the ground would turn purple. It was beautiful, but the birds were bad. They were taking over. And after we grew up and I joined the Army, my grandma came back from basic training, I think, and she had chopped it down. She was 70 years old chopping down trees. That's my lineage, I'll tell you that. I come from a good stock. Anyway, let me stop bragging. So this is a mulberry tree, and this just reminds me of my family and my childhood. Our mulberry tree was huge, and I want another one. So I bought one. And they say that you don't need 2, so I only bought one. Well, for me it's expensive because I'm used to buying trees for $30. This one was, $45. Could have been more. It could have been more. I shouldn't be complaining. But this is my last, I think this was the last tree I bought this year, the last one. That doesn't mean it's the last one of this season, because they're getting ready to have a sale on trees. They're getting ready to try to get those things out of their stock. I know that from experience. And the last one we're going to talk about is my lime tree, the one closest to the house. Let me back up so you get a view of what it looks like. that stick that goes straight up, that's the lime tree that I had to go and prune drastically because of the freeze we had this winter. Oh man, we had a couple of freezes this one. I think there was two or three that were extremely bad, and every time this thing looked like, it was trying, all the branches tried to come back. I think that last freezer we had for like 5 days really did it. That really did it. But it's on its way back. It's on its way back. The only problem I'm having right now is this. Daughter, the devil in daughter, the devil that is daughter. I keep on pulling this stuff out, and it keeps on coming back, trying to strangle the tree. If you see that stuff, step on it. I'm so mad at this stuff. It keeps coming back. I'm sick of you. But this is my tree. It's doing a lot better. I know it doesn't look very pretty right now, but you know what? It's alive, and I still have it. I've had this tree for over 10 years, and I'm not willing to give up on it. I thought about chopping it down to, chopping at least, 6 feet off of it, but I feel like it's already had enough stress earlier this year, so I didn't want to mess with it. So it's extremely tall. You see that? It's extremely tall, but it's very skinny. It used to be bushy like all the rest of the trees around here. As a matter of fact, it used to drape over like a canopy. And I hope that one day, I pray that one day it'll start doing that again. So, let's move on. A lot of you call this a pomegranate tree, but I don't know, I always call it a pomegranate bush. Remember at the beginning of the year, I pruned this thing down? Well, it looks a lot better, a lot healthier. All those dead branches were just in the way. This thing is thriving now. I don't think I'm gonna get any fruit, but I love the way it looks. Next year I should get some fruit. It's doing well. I'm so proud of the outcome of this plant. And on to the figs. The figs are suffering, but they're here. They're holding on. So there they are. These are Chicago figs. I didn't get any figs from them, but they're alive. That's all I care about. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have a couple that are, man, they're struggling. They're still alive, but they are struggling. Hopefully they come back during the rainy season. We'll see. I have been watering. You see the green, but apparently it was not enough. It was not enough to keep them from losing all their leaves. So we'll see. Just cross my fingers, huh? Pray to God. Pray to God that they come back. They've been in this ground for about a year, so they should come back. We'll see. And we're coming to the end. The last 2 fruit trees that I have are soursop. That one I thought was gonna die. If you watch my earlier videos in April or May, this one arrived damaged. I was so upset, and I kept it under UV light all this time and kept on feeding it. You can see there's eggshells in there, right? That's what I do with my chicken, eggshells. I crumble them up and I either throw them in the garden bed or I throw them in the bottom of the plants. I fed this thing, let's see, I fed it fish emulsion, 911, that's what they call it. And then I fed it some horticulture molasses, every couple of weeks. And look at it. This is the younger one. The younger one is now just as big as the one I've had for 3 years. And this one, I gotta start helping it out because it doesn't look as pretty as the one I got after. Maybe it's because I stuck it in the back, huh? There it is. They're both soursop. I have 2 soursop. 2 of them. Let me put you in the sun, baby. I love those trees. I love them. So that's the new one. And that down there is the one that's been around for about, I don't know, I got it during, the block-ish down. So This is Jamerica 5288. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you on the next one. Remember, plant your trees, take care of your plants, and they will flourish and take care of you. Bye.